So this helps you to put you in queue and in case the chatbot is unable to answer you, or to help you get extra information on the center. So for example, you can ask them about the location, they give you the exact location. This helps you to, avoid any misinformation you might get by just a simple Google. So this is an example of a customer service chatbot. So all of that looks very amazing, but how does one actually build an AI chatbot? So we've simplified the process to talk about 3 key steps. The first one is to select an AI model. So there are multiple kinds of AI models. You might have heard of Llama, ChatGPT. You will have to choose the AI model that's most suitable for your needs, because some of the models, they prioritize speed. They are able to answer you very promptly. Some of them are able to host a larger set of information. So it really depends on your needs. What do you intend to do with the AI chatbot you are building? The second step will be much more technical. It is to code the chatbot function. So like we said, appointment booking just now, this is one of the examples of a chatbot function. And then this is required, like a coding background is required for us to write out these functions because it's all part of technology. And then the third step, after you've built out the chatbot flow, given it the functions, you have to deploy it on the platform you want to. So some examples may be Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, websites, or Telegram. So you might or might not have used chatbot on these various platforms. Generally, there are these 2 steps before they are actually deployed on the platform. So your chatbot will be much more tailored to your needs. Well, today's workshop's priority is to actually talk about how we can help to make this process much more easy for non-technical people who are looking to build a chatbot of their own. So in the 3 steps we talked about just now, this time we are going to use the DeFi platform to omit the need to code the chatbot function, because not everyone might come from a coding background. And if you still intend to learn how to build a chatbot despite not having coding background, it's entirely possible using this DeFi platform. So this is an example of how it works out. There are blocks that help you kind of skip over the coding part. You can just pull the functions you want to. And then here is a debug and preview page where you'll get to run the chatbot like you would in other platforms. And then you can see whether the chatbot is creating whatever you need. So this is what we'll be learning today. We'll do AI chatbot. So we are going to dive into DIYing our AI chatbot. There are 2 things that I require all the participants to do. So the first one is actually to register for a DeFi account first. So you can just scan the QR code and then open the website link to register an account, as well as download this playbook, which this QR code will bring you to a Drive link. There are 2 pieces of materials inside that will be necessary for our workshop today. So maybe we can take like a few minutes to get this done, and then we'll proceed on to the next step.
Hi, after I scan the register uh, DeFi, so I should continue with Google.
So after you register for a DeFi platform, what you should see is a platform or an interface that looks like this, maybe without these 2 chatbots, but this is what you should be seeing. And what the drive contains is these 2 books. So I would recommend everyone to have this book by the side because we'll be needing the instructions in this PDF. If you are facing any problems, you can leave your problems in the chat box where Ziheng will help to reply the queries you have. Okay, can I get a simple, maybe thumbs up reaction if everyone is now safe and sound in this Diffie interface?
Ask me to sign in to continue.
Sorry?
Sign in to continue email.
Yeah, you have to sign in using an email to register for an account. Okay, if everyone is done, I will proceed on. If you are not, it will be a good time to raise your hand now. Okay, then I'll take it everyone is now in this interface, seeing almost the same. Okay, there are still some.
Should I download the other QR or just the
Sorry,
Diffie?
you mean these two PDFs?
No, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have two QR just now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I
Okay,
need
so one,
download playbook?
yeah. So if you scan this one, it will actually bring you to a Google Drive link, which is also in the chat box.
Can download the playbook in this drive URL.
Yeah.
But that one is for the catalog, right? Catalog.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
catalog
okay,
and
okay.
playbook inside. So those who are done can briefly look through the playbook if you want to. It's a rundown of what we'll be doing today. We're going to build a chatbot that will act as a virtual assistant for a hair salon to book appointments and to give product recommendations.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so for now, I'm going to move on. If you have any other questions or you need technical assistance, please feel free to leave it in the chat box and then Zhiheng will attend to you. But for everyone else, I hope you are back on this Diffie interface. So our first step would be to create a blank app. So this is what you'll see after you press on it. You can open, a new tab or a second window to work on it side by side if you want to. So we'll be selecting a chatbot, and instead of basic, we'll be using this chat flow beta version, which is for advanced users. So can give our app a name, since we are going to build a hair salon virtual assistant. That will be the name for my chatbot. You can name it whatever you want to. The description is optional, and then you can press create. So what you should see is this with a few blocks inside. Okay.
Sorry. So I just create from blank.
Yeah. Click from blank.
Okay. And then
Change, instead of basic, change it to chat flow. Okay, so if everyone is back on this particular page, so now we've seen 3 blocks inside this page. There's start, LLM, and answer. Basically, start is like the start of, your interaction with this chatbot. LLM is where you involve your large language models, your AI models, to generate the response. And answer is where you display the answer generated by the LLM in a text form, so we are able to see it. So our very first step would actually be to add a question classifier. So what you do is you find this line between these 2 blocks and you press on the plus button. There's a whole bunch of blocks in here, for various functions. For now, we'll be using this one, question classifier.
Oh,
So it should look something like this.
sorry, too fast. So I just click the text generator.
Text
Okay.
generator.
It's just now I use handphone. Now
Okay.
I'm using laptop. So
Okay, do you see this interface?
um yeah,
Yeah, so now add this question classifier block by pressing the plus you can see between the lines.
but I need to click the text generator, right?
Sorry, no. These are all in. Is it inside yours?
I already create the blank, and then I should choose which,
Okay.
because there's a for type
Okay.
agent, chat
So you
box,
should be choosing chat flow.
chat
This
flow,
one. Chatbot, chat flow.
workflow.
No, chatbot is correct. The first line is chatbot. Second one is chat flow.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
saw it already. Sorry.
no problem. Give a name. Then when you come back, you'll probably be on the.
But I can't click the chat flow.
Sorry?
I can't click it. Nothing
It
appear.
should be highlighted and a
Yeah.
name for your app in the third line.
Any name?
Any name.
Okay.
Okay.
Then create.
Yeah.
Do we need to put prescription?
No need. It's optional.
Okay.
Okay. So you should be seeing these 3, start, LLM, and answer, but not the question classifier. So you press the plus and then you add this block of question classifier. Okay, so I'll explain a little bit of what this question classifier is for. Basically, when you give your questions to the chatbot, it's supposed to know what kind of questions are you giving it. So we are basically telling it what kind of questions they should expect. So like I said, today we'll be covering 2 main functions. The first one would be to help customer make appointment. So you can add this into this class section. And then the second function we'll be doing is to recommend product for hair salon, because we are doing product recommendation. So these are the 2 types of questions it should expect. And then let's add a third class called others, so that, if any customers do ask them other questions, we can consider it as this class others. So after we've keyed in these 3 classes, now open the advanced setting section. There should be something called memory, and it's a toggle button here. So what this does is that it allows your chatbot to have memory of the past conversations conducted. Because sometimes, a conversation is flowing, you say something and then you add on to it. But if you don't enable this function, the chatbot will forget whatever you said previously. So we need this to be open. So when you open this toggle, you'll see something called a window size. You're also going to open this toggle. And let's just put it at 10 because we don't need that many windows. 10. Okay, so with all of this, your question classifier block will be done. And then here's an LLM block. So like I said just now, this is the model we're using. We're using ChatGPT. However, when you tap on it, you'll realize there's this toggle open called temperature. So if you look at this section, explaining what is a temperature, basically, if the temperature is higher, it means the answers given by the chatbot is going to be more random. So this is not exactly what we are looking for, because since we are going to provide them as a virtual assistant, we want it to be as accurate as possible. We don't want it to give random answers. So let's just tune this down to 0. Okay, so this is basically, the base we have now. So like I mentioned just now, we can click on this debug and preview button for us to try to test run our bot. So let's see. Let me just say, hi, I want to book an appointment. So it's running through the flow we built. Okay, there's actually a third step. So now this chatbot does not understand what it's supposed to do. So what we have to do is to actually tell them what they are. So here's a system instruction, this one. So we are going to tell the LLM that it is a helpful assistant at the hair salon. It will help to make appointment. We give, more information of how the appointment is going to look like. So you can just copy this directly from the PDF. And then let's copy paste this into the system. Okay.
Hi, sorry,
Yes.
Esther. I missed the step
Mm-hmm.
after the start, and then just now you said press the plus button
Mm-hmm.
under the LLM, right?
Between start and LLM.
Oh, between
Start and
start.
LLM. Yeah. So there should be like a plus
Oh,
button.
okay. And then I should
Sir,
choose
Mister,
select.
The question.
sorry for disturb. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm LG. Yeah. I sorry I'm late a bit and joining this meeting,
Okay.
and I would like to get information. Can you share the? Are you sharing the control with all the participants for this practice?
Oh, yes, we are sharing this link to
Or
the.
I can control. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. We will have Zhiheng to resend the links inside the chat so you can access it too. Is that okay?
Yeah. Can you share? Are you sharing in the chat box or in the where I can get it?
The chat box.
Chat box, I don't see it in
Okay.
my
He's sharing
my
it.
slide yet. Oh, okay. Thank you. Is it I have the permission? Oh, this one. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, after I click the plus, and then I should select.
Select for question classifier.
Okay.
And then there
Alright.
are, when you tap in question classifier, there are 3 classes. So this is what you key in for each class.
Oh, okay. Hold on. +1 of customer appointment +2 recommend.
Okay, so these are the 3 classes we should have. And then for the LLM, we are going to copy the system instruction from the PDF.
Sorry. Yeah. Mister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This again. I'm LG. And the drive that you share to us. How long that you can access?
This one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it'll still be available after this workshop session.
How many days that we have to
Um,
try it?
okay,
Mm.
I'll let Zhiheng answer this question in the chat for you
Sure.
later.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue to try our chatbot for the rest who has already built this flow. Let me rewrite again. So maybe I'll say something like 28 June, 4 p.m. Okay, so the last appointment slot is at 4 p.m. Let's say 28 June, 2 p.m. Okay, so this is technically how it works like, the chatbot tells you, oh, it's not available during this time frame. Do you want to build a new one? And then you've told it, and now it's like written down. However, let's try, what if I book it, accidentally type wrong? So maybe I write like, I want an appointment on 28th May, which has already passed, 3 p.m. Okay, 2 p.m. maybe, 2 p.m. Okay, so now we face a new problem, which is our chatbot is saying they can schedule us for an appointment on 28 May. But it's 27 June today. Something's probably off here. Why is it able to book an appointment in the previous date? It's because we are actually missing one block. So back here, let's press this plus button and let's search for a tool called current time.
Hi, Esther, sorry. After I
Yes.
create the tree class, and then where should I go?
Where are you at now?
Create the tree class, help
Okay.
customer make appointment, recommend product, and other.
You should press this advanced setting and turn on the memory, turn on the window size.
Advanced setting. Sorry, which button? Advanced setting.
Yeah, advanced setting.
Oh, I already clicked X.
Okay, so adding the current time block is supposed to tell your chatbot what time is it now, so that it won't make the mistake of booking an appointment before the current time. So you can just play with this time zone, choose a time zone you want to, and then yeah. So with this current time block, let's try again. Let's see whether it will make the same mistake. Okay, and then there's another thing. So now we've had this current time tool, but we need to make sure our LM understands. So our second page, or maybe 1, 2, 3, third page of our PDF actually updates the system information for you. So now you have to tell it an additional information that, what's the current time, and the customer is not supposed to book an appointment before the current time, because it sounds intuitive for us as humans, but maybe not for chatbots. So let's just, remind them of it. So after you copy paste, there will be this thing called an invalid variable. It's because, the time is changing as we speak. So what you do is you remove that variable and you press on this X button that looks like a function formula. There's a lot of things in it. Just go to the bottom and then choose this text string. So it should look something like this instead of an invalid variable. Okay, so let's close this. With this new current time block and this new LM model, let's try to talk to our chatbot again. Hi, I would like an appointment on 28th May. 2 p.m. Okay, so now we've gotten an improvement. Now our chatbot understands, you can only book appointments from today onwards. So it wants an appointment for a later date. I can say something like 28 June, 2 p.m. Okay, not time slot available. Okay, so now our first function, which is appointment booking, is technically completed. So this is how it will look like. if customers want to make appointment, and this is the process. However, I just have to clarify that in an actual appointment booking chatbot, there's actually two more steps that are not covered here today. So one of them is that after a customer approaches this chatbot to book an appointment, the chatbot has to go search for the availability of this time frame, whether there has been someone else who has already made the appointment. This is something they will have to get from the database. And then afterwards, when appointment is successfully made, they have to log this appointment back into the database. So the operators get to know, who made these appointments through the chatbot. We are not covering it today because these two steps require some coding information. Coding knowledge is much more technical, but if you're interested to learn more, we actually do cover this in our advanced classes. But this is a general knowledge of how it works out. We are just missing two steps that require coding knowledge. Okay, so that's the first function. And then now we are going to do a second function. We've got appointment done. Now we're going to try to recommend a product. In order to do this, so we've talked about the knowledge retrieval chatbot just now. How a chatbot gets to know about all this information is you feed it data sets. Might have heard of this term before. But what the data set we'll be using for today is actually this product catalog. So it should look something like this. This is something you might see in hair salons telling you what products we have today. So now we are just going to download this if you haven't. Download it. Let me just download together. Okay, so my download is done. Back to the DeFi platform. Now we are at Studio. Now we switch to this knowledge bar. So click on this knowledge. It should bring you to an empty page without this tool. Let me just delete it. So this is what you should see. An empty knowledge base because we haven't given it any data set. So we'll click on create knowledge. And they'll ask you, where do you want the data source to be from? We're just going to tell them we're going to import from file. So as you can see, it will support lots of different data set information. It could be in PDF, Excel, or PPT. Right now, we're going to use PDF. So I'm just going to, how you usually upload your file. Just upload it up here. Click on it. Okay, hold on. It's still loading. Okay. So now it's completely uploaded, and this is when you can press the next button. We're not going to touch anything here. You can just leave it be and press save and process. Okay, so the third one is saying that knowledge created, meaning now this knowledge is available on your DeFi platform. That is all the task for now. And let's go back to our studio. Go back to the chatbot we were working on. So now we've got the knowledge data set in our platform. What we're going to do is to tell them where they are going to get this knowledge from. Because let's say if you do build more chatbots in the future, there's going to be a lot of data there. You don't need everything. You don't need all the data. For example, maybe the next one you want to build is like a pet shop appointment database, and you don't really need a hair salon one. So we're just going to press on this knowledge retriever button, and we click on this plus, click the plus button to add knowledge. Click this plus and select the reference knowledge. So this would be your product catalog, and you can add it in. Okay, so with this, we'll close it and then we'll link it here so that now the knowledge is going to retrieve when a customer has a question of product recommendation. Our AI model is going to get this information from the product catalog. And what we are going to do next is to connect it to an LLM. So this is actually the same thing as we were doing just now. We are going to turn this temperature down. I'm going to add one more for answer. And then we'll press on this X button to say text so that your AI model will display the response in text. And then here, now we're going to give it a new set of instructions. We are going to say this. So just copy paste copy this instruction from the PDF, paste it in the system. We are giving a new set of instructions because now we are going to clarify this is the context it'll be using, and then we have to remind them, if this AI model does not know about the answer, just say you don't know, don't give the wrong information. This helps you to avoid situations where your chatbot suddenly talks about irrelevant things. We'll turn on the memory, turn on the window size so that our chatbot remembers what's being discussed. And then we'll click on this set variable in context. We are going to choose result for this. So this is how it should look like. A quick recap, click on the ChatGPT one, make sure temperature is at 0, add result in your context, system instruction, and then your memories. Okay. And then it will display this answer. So that's all the theory. Let's try to do it now. Maybe I want a product. Can you recommend me a product to use if I don't have time to wash my hair? Because situations do happen. Oh, okay. So now we are probably missing something here. So this is how we can, get to use this debug and preview session. It tells you about the bugs you have failed to cover. Okay, let me restart this again. Let's quickly run through. Okay, let's prompt it again. Hi. Okay, I haven't given it a prompt. I'll say a product recommendation. Okay, so this is the node where something is going wrong. Let's just check if we've uploaded the correct thing. This should be correct. Let me bug this. Okay, since, there's not a very obvious problem we see, let's try to redo it again, because we might have missed, oh, is it this thing we've missed? So let's add a new LLM, turn it down to 0, set it as result, copy paste the prompt, turn on the memory. Okay, let's try to restart this. Oh, I think it's my download that has a problem.
How to add before the LLM the current time?
Or you can press between the two lines. There's a plus button.
Because after the question classify is LLM, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how you create the current time? I mean this box. I mean the current time box.
Or when you press on the L, or go to the tools section.
Okay. Mm.
Oh, okay. So we have missing this string, which is a start string. That's why it doesn't understand where we're supposed to go. Let's try it now. Okay, so what are we looking for just now? Oh, okay, can you recommend a product to use if I don't have time to wash my hair? Okay,
Sir,
yes,
yeah,
sorry.
sir, yeah, I'm LG. Uh, how big the any limit on the file that we can download for the, I mean, PDF or any type of files that we download, any size limit for this
You mean for this
AI?
knowledge?
Mm.
I think it should be written there. Actually,
Written.
you can have this question put in the chat box, because Zheng will be there to answer you. Zheng
How
is
normally
the
how big the normally we recommend that we, I mean, the size, that average size that we put on this AI?
Okay, so for example, our current one is around 11.8 MB, but it's already processing quite fast. I'm not very sure about the size limit, so that one you have to let Zheng reply you in the chat box, because he's more familiar with it.
Okay, sure,
Okay,
thanks.
okay, no problem. Okay, back to our debug and preview. Okay, now it's gone again. Give me a quick second to bring it out. Can I have a product? Okay, so it mentions this gold dry shampoo. If you do scroll to the product catalog, if you are going to read through it, I think it's around here, 42. Okay, so it's indeed here. So it's like gold dry shampoo, how to use. Let's try to prompt a little bit more from it. Can you tell me more? Okay, so it's kind of stuck here. Maybe it doesn't really understand what we were trying to say. So this is where we actually have a third class of others. So let's see. Right now, in terms of this PDF, we are at this point. So like I mentioned just now, others is for the chatbot to cover any questions that are not directly obvious. You're asking for a product recommendation or an appointment booking. So this is the instruction we are telling them. You are an assistant of hair salon and you're supposed to only answer questions related to the hair salon. So let's see, if we do pull a new line, we are going to just use a new LLM.
Sorry, sir.
Do you have to click the
Yeah.
knowledge retrieval?
uh, Hello.
Sorry? Yes?
Yeah, Esther. Yeah. Sorry for disturbing. Can you share again the QR, the code, again? Can you hold for a while?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So back to this LLM, we are going to connect it back to the question classifier. So there are actually nodes where you can just link it up. The same thing, we're going to turn down the temperature. We're going to give them our prompt. Oh, it's not completely
What
copied.
is the purpose to, reduce the temperature, make it 0?
Okay, that is to, prevent the situation where your chatbot gives you random answers. The higher the
Oh,
temperature, the more random the answer will be.
okay.
Okay, so this is the system instruction you are supposed to put in. Tell it you are not able to do other things, and then tell it that if you don't know the answer, just say you don't know. Turn on the memory for this. Window size. Yeah. So all your LLMs should look roughly the same, aside from this system instruction. Turn down the temperature and turn on the memory. Let's just do a quick check to make sure all of them are functioning well. Okay. And then the last step is give it an answer block. So it'll be able to tell you the information in text. Let's click on text. Okay. So maybe now I ask it, can I bring dots? No, let's restart this first. Okay, so it's like telling you you're not supposed to bring it there. Okay, it's still related to the salon. Maybe I'll ask something like, can I buy fruits? Okay, so it's saying, I don't know.
Yeah, Esther, so sorry.
Yes,
Can we see the final result of this one?
you mean the
Publish
final
how
result?
you after this one. Yeah. Can we see this for this the just now can you see the final
So this is the final flow.
no, sorry, not the flow, the this is for marketing, right? So can we see the final one?
Okay, this is a platform for you to build the chatbot flow. This debug and preview section is where you can see how it plays out in the conversation. So this is maybe something your customers will ask, can I buy fruits? And then chatbot is going to say stuff like, I don't know. Or basically whatever you tell it to say. But then we are going to cover this later. What are the limitations of this DeFi platform? Of course, it's not perfect. So actually one of it is that you cannot deploy this on social media platforms without the technical knowledge for it. So you can have the flow here, but you will need external assistance to host this on your social media platforms. So this is actually something that Reply does. We do build chatbots, and then we help our clients to host it on the social media platforms they prefer. So that could look like Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Telegram, or their own company business websites. So DeFi is just a platform where you can use all these blocks to put in what functions you want if you don't know how to code. But let's say if you do want to host it on social media platforms, you do have to get external technical assistance for that.
How about sharing over here in this session?
Sharing the story, come again?
The final result not posted on the social media, just I mean the final result after all the flow here.
Okay. So the final result is actually this debug and preview session you see here. So let me restart, right? Maybe this is what your customers will see, an empty conversation when he wants to talk to the chatbot. They probably say something like, hi, I want to book an appointment at 30th August, okay, now 30th June, 2 p.m. So this sounds like something your customer will say. So this is what the chatbot will say. Okay, booking interval is 2 hours around 4 p.m. I don't want now, I want 10 a.m. Okay, so they'll say things like, okay, I've booked you in for an appointment on 30th June at 10 a.m. I'm not sure if you were here when we covered this part, but like I mentioned, this process is much more complicated than here. It actually requires 2 more steps, which is where the chatbot actually has to check the availability of this particular hair salon in terms of where can I actually make a booking during this time, and send this information back to the database so the operators will know that someone made such an appointment. These two are also things that require coding knowledge. But on the surface, this is what your clients will be seeing, that you've managed to book an appointment, and then you can ask them for product recommendation. Can you give me shampoo recommendations? So this is like another function maybe you want to provide for your customers, saying what kind of products are being sold in your hair salon. So this is what they'll do. They'll tell you, okay, gold hydration shampoo, gold hydration conditioner, what is it about? And these are the two main functions we are covering today. And the chatbot can cover much more functions, but in the interest of time, this is what you can see. And if you ask them irrelevant stuff, buy fruits. And because our instruction was to tell them, if it's not related to the hair salon, say we don't. So it's going to say, okay, we do not sell fruits at the hair salon. So overall, because these are the three types of questions we expect this particular chatbot to have, this is how it will look like. Does that answer your question?
It's okay, sir. Yeah. What's the feature of the publish in the DeFi AI?
Sorry, come again.
Can you test the feature publish on the right side, top right side there? Is it up? Yeah. Can you show us?
Okay. It's just going to be like this. These things will be a little bit more complicated, which is not what we are going to touch on in today's class. Like if you want to learn more, we are covering this in our advanced class because technically our time is almost close to the end. So, but if you do have extra questions, please always feel free to reach out to us through our email or in this current chat box. The Chen is also there to answer. But I will have to quickly wrap up the session for now, if that's okay. Okay, so this is the flow you should be roughly seeing for now, because now we've been talking about two main functions. We want appointment booking and hair salon booking. So that's generally how you see, without doing any kind of coding, because we did not code almost at all, how we could still build a chatbot flow. But there are still limitations of DeFi. It's not perfect. So the first one was what I talked about just now. There's no option to deploy it on social media platforms. So these include the four social media platforms I've talked about and what we generally use: Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, and Facebook Messenger. There's also this second part where it actually requires coding knowledge or technical knowledge to build an effective chatbot. So it's very generic now. We do have the blocks there. It's not completely perfect. Like I said, we lack the database, we lack the retrieval of information, of availability, and sending it back. These are all things you do require technical people to work on, which is why DeFi is good if you just want to see the flow. But if you do want to execute it, it will be nice to actually have developers working on it. And there's a third limitation of DeFi, which is because it's using a cloud platform. So we are technically sharing resources with other people. Like right now, we're all using this DeFi platform. The consequence is sometimes the response time might be slow if there's a lot of people using it. And sometimes you might even face a problem of going out of service because there's just too many traffic, which is what happens when there's a lot of people using that resource on the cloud platform. And maybe we'll just touch a little bit more on how Dive Reply can help with these limitations of DeFi. So because we are an AI chatbot provider, we help give chatbot solutions. The first thing we can help anyone interested to build a chatbot for their businesses, for personal use maybe, is that we can help you deploy it on social media, like the four platforms I've talked about just now. And secondly, because we do have a developer team, we can help you to build a robust flow if you have very specific functions or information or responses you want your chatbot to give. This is where we can come into place to help you build a much more effective chatbot rather than just maybe a very generic one. And then the third one is that we can also help you to host your own DeFi. So this is actually to address the limitation, this 1, 2, 3 limitation. These are responses to each of them. When I say host your own DeFi, it means that we're going to help you host it on a new platform where you don't resource share with other people. And that solves your problem of too much traffic, as well as sometimes going out of service, because now you are the only one using this resource. So that's about it for our presentation for today. Let me quickly look at the chat box. Okay. And the conclusion is that we do have recording for this. So maybe, 1 hour is quite fast. It's a bit hard to catch up. Do always feel free to look back to the recording. And then if you do intend to, try to do this entire thing by your own using the recording, download the PDF as soon as possible. And if you are a business provider or if you are just interested to learn more of how, AI chatbot building can work, we are going to touch that on our advanced classes. So you can learn together with us during those classes. And if you do have any more questions, I think you can put it in the chat box so we can address it. But for now, I would say that concludes our session for today.
So can I use this platform, DeFi for training platform?
What do you mean use this platform?
To create this chatbot.
Oh yeah, DeFi, like I said,
After this.
Yeah, you still can.
Yeah.
It's an open link, open source. Anyone can access DeFi and use these blocks and tools as long as you get
Okay.
an account. Okay, and